Hello students, let's work this problem out together. What is the approximate area of the composite figure below? So the first thing we're going to do is look at the figure, and since we know we're finding area, we should find shapes that we can find the area of. So I see two figures that have been put together that I know how to find the area of. So the first figure that I have is this triangle. So I want to find the area of a triangle. The second figure that I see is this figure right here. What shape do you think that is? That is a trapezoid. Good. It only has one pair of parallel sides that are opposite to each other. So we have to find the area of a trapezoid. So we definitely want to use our formula chart, or we can use our foldable and look at the formulas for these shapes. Okay, so here's our anchor chart. And for the area of a triangle, we're going to use the formula shown. So we have area equals half of the base times the height. Let's write our formula. Always write your formula first so that you make sure you are following the formula. Just like a recipe, we want to follow it step by step. So now that I have my formula, I'm going to look at the triangle and I'm going to find the base and the height so that I can substitute the letters with numbers into the formula. So I have half of the base, which is 1 1/4. And the height is 2.5. Okay. Now, we talked about this before. It is our option to work the problem out as a fraction or as a decimal. But when I look at the answer choices, the answers are in decimal format, those that have decimals. There are no fractions, so I'm going to go ahead and use decimal for my answers. So that means I'm going to want to convert these fractions to decimals. And I have half, which is 0.5, times 1 1/4, 1 1/4 is 1.25, and 2.5. Now remember, if we don't know these, we have to divide the numerator by the denominator. So if I don't know 1/2 as a decimal, I have to divide 1 by 2. And then whatever I get, I need to make sure that I remember that there's a 2 in front because 2 is a whole number. Half is 0.5, so 2.5. Okay, so we're going to work this out. I need to multiply 1.25 times 2.5. I'll give you a minute to work that out. Okay, did you get 3.125? That's what I got. But don't forget, we still have to multiply by 0.5 times 3.125, which is what we got for multiplying 1.25 times 2.5, or the base times the height. So the area is half of 3.125. That's going to be 1.5625. So that is the area of the triangle. We are not done yet because we have another shape to find the area of. We're going to find the area of the trapezoid. And so for our trapezoid, we have the formula here in our anchor chart, and we're going to write it down. The area is equal to half of the two bases added together, base 1 plus base 2 times the height. So what we want to do now is we want to replace or substitute the letters with numbers. So we have base 1. We can use either one as base 1. I'm going to use the one at the bottom. Base 1, 1 1/4, plus base 2. I'm going to use the base at the top, 1 3/4. And then that will get multiplied by the height, which is 1. That's this number right here. We're going to use as our height, right? Okay, so now let's take a look at what we have to do. We have to add 1 1/4 plus 1 3/4. This, I don't mind working as a fraction because the denominators are the same. If we have the same denominator, then all we do is add those numerators. So 1 plus 3 is 4. And so we would have right here, 1 plus 1 is 2, and these 3 1/4 makes 4/4. But do you know what 4/4 is equal to? Yes, that would be another whole. 4/4 makes a whole. So 2 and one more whole makes 3. So now we have the area of the trapezoid is equal to half of 3 times 1. 3 times 1 is 3. So half of 3. What's half of 3? Or 3 divided by 2? Yes, that would be 1.5. Now, what I failed to do in the area of triangle, and I cannot fail to do it here, is to put my measurement or my units. So this was squared meters. And this triangle was also squared meters. So now I have the area of the trapezoid. So we have our two shapes that are making up the composite figure. This composite figure is made up of the two shapes put together. So to get the total area, we're going to put the two areas that we got together. So for the triangle, I have 1.5625. I'm going to round that to 1.6. So I have my triangle, 1.6. Do you see what I did? I took 1.5 to round it to the nearest tenths because I see my answers are to the tenths place. And then I see that after the 5, there's a 6. So that's 5 or more, we add 1 more. So I rounded it up to 1.6. Now for my trapezoid, we have 1.5. And we'll put those pieces together. And we have 6 plus 5 is 11. We carry 1. 1 plus 1 plus 1, that's 3. And this decimal comes straight down the middle because we keep our decimals in a straight line when we're adding. So this is the total area for the composite figure. 3.1. So now we're going to go ahead and look at our answer choices, which is the approximate area of the composite figure. So the closest answer to 3.1 is 3. So my answer is A, 3 square meters.